Hello, everyone. I am back doing something that I have not done in a little while since Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I am doing a movie and pop unboxing, movie review and pop unboxing. So this time it was obviously for, if you couldn't tell, the Marvels. I was able to see it on Friday night. I've just been kind of busy and haven't gotten around to making the unboxing and review yet. So now I have a little bit of free time and I am able to do that. So obviously, like I normally do, I'll unbox the pops first to talk about, the characters and whatnot. And then I will get into my movie review. Let's just jump right into it. So first we'll go with Nick Fury. So I'll show the two glow-in-the-dark pops last. I don't have any fancy editing technology or stuff, so I have to actually go turn off the lights here. So, yeah, kind of cheap, but that's what happens during college. Anywho, so first we have Nick Fury with a Flurkin kitten. So Nick Fury, obviously, he is at Sword Base, in space, or Saber, one of the two. And he is there, obviously, and he gets some readings, from these unstable jump points. And so he sends Monica Rambeau out to investigate. And that's kind of when the whole entanglement and, them just being able to switch using their powers happens. So Nick Fury kind of is just there to be that, that anchor at that base for the most part of the movie, obviously. And he's the one that kind of behind the scenes kind of organizes everything and checks up on, people's progress and whatnot. But yeah, obviously he's holding one of the egg things where the flurkins hatch. And then they use these they eat the humans to get them off the base when it's being attacked by Darbed to get them back to Earth safely, and they escape safely. So that's Nick Fury. Pretty good character. Again, I've already talked about Secret Invasion, how he wasn't as good, but I feel like this was old Nick Fury was back in this movie. I feel like the MCU kind of returned him back to what his character was in the movies and stuff before. So that is Nick Fury for you. So next up, we have, Prince Yan. So he is, I don't remember the planet name. Obviously, when the movie comes out on Disney Plus, I'll rewatch it and I'll know. But he is the leader of the Singing Planet, and he is also the husband of Carol Danvers. I think they got married. It was a legal thing, or a peace treaty thing or something. It's a technicality is what, Carol said, what Captain Marvel said. But yeah, so he, obviously, this planet is composed of 99% water. And he wants to obviously defend it against Dar-Ben. So she doesn't take their water and transfer it to Hala, obviously. But yeah, he helps in the defense of his people. He obviously is also, has the little dance scene with, Captain Marvel, and when they first get on the planet, or shortly after. And yeah, he helps in the fight against the Kree, which eventually they lose. They don't win, and their water gets stolen, which is unfortunate. We don't really know what happens after that to that planet or this guy, Prince Yan. But yeah, I know he's played by a really famous Korean actor. I don't remember his name, but I know he's really popular in Korea, and he's a really popular actor. So yeah, that's Prince Yan. There isn't a whole ton we know about him. He was a good character, I guess. He just didn't have that much of a presence. But before we get into the big three, we'll get into the main villain, Dar-Ben. So one thing I really liked about this villain is that she didn't have a redemption arc. We thought when, Captain Marvel said, oh, I can jumpstart your planet if you stop this. She was like, okay, but it was just a fake out, and she actually still wanted the two gauntlets to to get the power of the sun to Hala. But yeah, so Dar-Ben is actually a really good villain. She has the hammer thing, kind of like Ronan. I don't know what's powering it. It probably is the gauntlet, I think. It might just be a normal hammer until she finds the first of the two bangles is what I think they're technically called, but I just call them gauntlets. So, yeah, so her motivation is she saw Carol, she said she was going to come back and destroy the Kree Empire, for, ending everything. So she saw the Supreme Intelligence get killed by Captain Marvel, and that basically sent their civilization into a civil war because they didn't really know what was true anymore, and that basically depleted Hala of all its natural resources and made it basically unlivable. So her motivations, which is interesting and good, is that she wants to restore Hala to its former glory. She wants to bring it back to what it was like before Captain Marvel came, and destroyed it all. They call Captain Marvel the Annihilator for a reason. But, yeah, so she uses unstable jump points to bring resources like the atmosphere of the Skrull refuge colony and the waters of Prince Yon's planet to bring the natural resources back to Hala so they can obviously live again. It can be livable again and restore it to its former glory. And then she wants to take, because Captain Marvel took stuff that she loved, she wants to take something that Captain Marvel loves, which is Earth and, the solar system, our Earth. And so she wants to take away the sun, so it will kill everyone in the universe. So in order to transfer all that energy, though, she needs both bangles. The one she found and the one Kamala has. So obviously there's the ending fight scene between her and the big three. And she ends up dying. She ends up putting both on, but it's a power overload. And she dies, but it creates a tear in the space-time continuum, which we'll talk about later when we talk about Monica. But yeah, so that's Dar-Ben. Honestly, I kind of wish we had gotten a little more of her backstory. All we really know is that she was just a Kree warrior who then rose up the ranks after their civil war. But yeah, Zoe, is that how you say it? Zoe Ashton, whatever, I don't know. Tom Hiddleston's wife played this character really well. The silver teeth was kind of weird. It was kind of off-putting at the beginning. But yeah, definitely an improvement over some of the villains that we've gotten in the MCU lately. Definitely had interesting motivations, a good character, a good villain for the big three to fight, for sure. Obviously, I'll get into when I talk about the movie review. I wish he would have been in the movie a little longer, but it's all good. All good. So, now, let's get into the big three, two of which are glow-in-the-dark. Yes, I will be showing off the glow. Like I said, I have to go actually turn off the lights because I don't have any fancy editing equipment. But first, we'll go with Captain Marvel. So, I think one big thing about this character that I think not only me, but a lot of people like, is that they actually humanized... Oh, man, long neck. No, it's fine. It won't kill me. Is that they actually humanized Carol a lot. And because a lot of complaints was that she was a Mary Sue in the first movie, which I don't think is totally wrong. But I feel like they really fixed her character, and they made her more human. And they made, they fleshed her out a lot, which is something they didn't do a whole ton in the first film, I feel like. But yeah, so obviously she goes, so after we learn that after the first movie, she goes and destroys the Supreme Intelligence. And then that sends Hala into chaos. And then she basically finds out what Dar-Ben is doing and teams up with Kamala and Monica to take down Dar-Ben. So we learn during this time that she never went back to Earth to visit to visit Monica, and Monica's upset about that. And she also takes Kamala under her wing and realizes that Kamala is a huge fan of her and trains her and, teaches her what it means to be a superhero. But yeah, we find out that she also was married, even though it was a technicality. And yeah, so she ends up fighting along with the other two to secure, to help, defeat Dar-Ben. And then she ends up going back to Hala and using her energy, using her powers, restores its sun so the people there can live again. She kind of undoes the things that she did. She undoes what she did to Hala, basically, and helps save them. So yeah, so that's Captain Marvel. We also got her new costume. It isn't, a bigger star logo, obviously, in the middle. Kind of darker colors, a little bit more muted colors. Yeah, so she has a little bit, the braid in the side of her hair. So yeah, so that's Captain Marvel. So first we'll get into, so I'm just going to move her out of the way because I'll show off the two pops that glow in the dark. So first we have Photon. What's really interesting is, if I am recalling the movie correctly, she never actually is called Photon in the film. I don't know. Oh, and their outfits really quick. Kamala, Monica, and Carol's outfits all come from Prince Jan. So yeah, I didn't mention that. But all their new outfits come from that. Anyway, so the interesting thing about Monica Rambeau is that I don't think they ever actually call her Photon in the film. I honestly don't think they ever call her that. But anyway, so her power is she can see light and manipulate it as well. Kamala can turn it into physical matter. But yeah, she gets her powers from walking through the Hex in WandaVision. And then obviously she's sent to investigate the unstable space portal. And obviously that's when Kamala and Carol's powers entangle. And we get them training together. Obviously they learn that, they need to kind of team up to take down Dar-Ben. So they train together. And then kind of Monica's character arc is accepting that Carol didn't come back, but that she wanted to, and learning to live with that, and also dealing with her mom's death, which will come back to be a bigger part in the movie later. But yeah, so she goes with them. She helps them fight Dar-Ben. They all fight Dar-Ben. They stop her. And then when that space dimension, the rip in the time-space continuum happens, she goes to the other side and fixes it. And Carol tries to save her and bring her back to the MCU before she fixes it. But she doesn't do it in time, and she ends up getting stuck in the Fox X-Men universe, which is cool. So yeah, so the post-credit scene in this movie, spoilers, obviously, is that she wakes up, Beast is attending to her, and she sees her mom, but it's a different universe, so this isn't her mom in that universe. It's Binary, I think is her name. It's Maria Rambeau in that universe. Or I don't even know if it's Maria Rambeau, but whatever. It's a variant of Maria Rambeau who is Binary in that universe. That's the character name. So yeah, so she wakes up in the Fox X-Men universe confused, and that's where the story is going to continue, obviously. Is she's going to be in the Fox X-Men universe now. Honestly, wonder if she'll show up in Deadpool 3. But yeah, so that was Photon. And again, like I said, I don't think they ever call her Photon in the movie, which is kind of interesting. Okay, and then we'll get to our last pop. And the other glow-in-the-dark one, which I will show off in a bit. And that is Kamala Khan. So obviously she starts off, kind of where the post-credit scene of Miss Marvel, episode 6, happens. She switches places with them, and they learn why it's happening. Kamala obviously meets Carol and is super, super thrilled by meeting Carol. Um, and yeah, kind of their adventure. It's kind of really hard to separate the three characters because they all went on the movie. They basically the whole movie was them together, doing stuff together. So it's really kind of hard to separate their character arcs because they're all kind of the same, sort of, because they all go on the same adventure. But yeah, she learns what it's like to make the tough call. Obviously, when she, when they escape the water planet, when they realize it's lost, even though Carol wanted to stay there and fight, even though it was going to be a losing battle. But yeah, her family ends up going to the space station, and they end up escaping as well. They don't get hurt or anything. But yeah, she learns, what it's like to team up and what it's like to be a hero, some of the sacrifices you have to make. And obviously her bangle plays a huge part in the film as well. So yeah, she almost gets killed by Darben too. Because Darben puts like her hammer down on her. But yeah, so that's Miss Marvel. So yeah, so I'll show off the glow in a little bit. But overall, I really enjoyed the movie. For me, I give it a 8.5 out of 10 is what I would rank it. So first, let's talk about my issues that I had with the movie. So my main problem with it is that it was really fast-paced. The movie was only like an hour and a half. All right, hold up. Sorry, something just happened. That's why. I'll show off the glow now before I get into the movie review. Hold on one sec. Yeah, so the glow on Miss Marvel, obviously, because I've already, seen what the glow looks like before I unbox them. The glow on Miss Marvel takes a long time to charge up. So we'll just show off Photon first. So that's Photon, what her glow looks like. So pretty cool. Her eyes glow, her suit glows too. She does have blue powers as well in the movie, so that is movie accurate. But now, yeah, we gotta shine this on Miss Marvel for a little while. Because the glow on this is really not good unless you charge it up. There's some pops that are like that drive me nuts, where even if you have the black light on them for a long time, it's still really, like, the glow is really hard to see. And I wish I could have black light shelves, but obviously I'm in college. I'm not made out of money, so I can't afford something like that. But yeah, so that's the glow. Obviously, it's just her hard light powers. But yeah, so that's the glow for Miss Marvel. So those are the two glow-in-the-dark pops. That's what they look like. Yep. Okay. Now we can get into the movie review. Okay. Now we'll get into the movie review. So, for me, my biggest issue with the film is that it felt really fast-paced. Obviously, it was only like an hour and a half, like, of runtime, which to me is just really incredibly short. It just felt like there were some important moments that were breezed through, that were kind of just rushed because the movie was so fast. Now, if they did this, if the director made the decision to shorten the movie because they wanted to cut out fluff and they wanted to, cut out filler material, I can respect that. If that is the reasoning why they cut out the movie so short, then yeah, I can respect that for sure, if that's why. Again, I don't know the reason why the movie was so short. But yeah, it was really short. And because I liked the movie, because I feel like it was good and had a good plot and interesting characters, then I wish it would have been longer. That's probably my biggest complaint. So my ranking of it is 8.5 out of 10, and that's probably what I dock it the most for, is it being sort of rushed and really, really, really fast. Also, not knowing what happened to Prince Yon's planet after they left also sort of bugs me, like, a little bit. It's not too big of a deal. But yeah, were there any other problems I had with the movie? Again, Dar-Ben, I feel like could have been developed a little more, but that also kind of contributes to the movie being so short. But yeah, so what I liked about this film, these three have such good chemistry. Like, seriously. Because Monica's in another universe now, we might not get to see them team up again. Maybe in, like, Secret Wars or something we will. Or Kang Dynasty. That would be freaking awesome. But these three had really, really, really good chemistry. It's hard to believe that Iman Vellani hasn't been acting for that long, because she's a really, really good actress. But again, like I said, I also feel like a big part of this movie was they fixed a lot of the problems that most people, including me, had with Captain Marvel, where she kind of felt perfect, and she didn't have that many flaws, and she didn't feel that human. And they really humanized and fleshed her out in this film. The film was also fun, and not like in a, hey, Marvel humor, hey, they make lots of funny jokes kind of way, but like actually a blast. Like actually fun to watch, fun to sit through. Plenty of moments where I laughed and smiled. This movie just felt like a blast. It was wacky in a good way. Not like wacky in a bad way or a generic way or a Marvel humor kind of way. Like, no, like this movie was genuinely fun. It was good. It was fun. And I liked it. I liked this movie. I don't know what to say besides I really liked this movie. I think that the hate before the movie was so unwarranted. I think it's definitely worth a watch. I think it's way better than some other projects we've gotten, like She-Hulk or whatever, other ones. Seriously. Like, I think that this movie was great. And I think that, like, I'm not even saying that from, like, a fanboy perspective. Like, oh, I love everything Marvel does, because I don't. I've put out videos explaining Marvel projects I don't like. And even from that perspective, I still like this movie. I genuinely think this was a good MCU film. I definitely think it furthered all three of these characters, and the team up was obviously the best part of the film. Their chemistry together, their training together, the action scene near the beginning of the movie with the awesome music, I don't know what it was called, was great. So, yeah, so overall, this movie for me was an 8.5 out of 10. I loved it. Yeah, I love this movie. I really think it was a good watch, and I think it's worth watching. Obviously, if you watched to the end of the video, you've probably already seen it, because spoilers. But, yeah, that is my review and pop unboxing of the Marvels. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie. The next MCU movie to come out will be Deadpool 3. Honestly, I hate Deadpool. So, the only pop I would probably be getting from that film is Wolverine. I'll probably still watch it and do a review of it, because it is an MCU movie. But it's unlikely that I'll be buying any pops besides Wolverine. Maybe if there's, like, a couple other Fox characters that show up that are surprises, maybe I'll buy pops for them. But, you know, probably not. I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah. So, that is my review of the Marvels. This might be, well, I'll be getting Loki Season 2 as well. I'll be doing that because I think I'm getting Victor Timely for Christmas. I'm not going to get any of the other pops because I already have most of the characters from Season 1. But, yeah. So, I really enjoyed the Marvels. But, yeah, let me know what y'all think about the movie, and peace out.